Hello, friends. Hopefully, you can hear me. Hopefully, everything's working okay. How are you? Sorry for the late start. I'm running a bit slow today. But I wanted to hop on and do a stream and say hey to everybody. Hello, Exiled Faye. Hello, Miko. How are you? Neo, hello. Neo, I'm very sorry to hear about the whole job thing not working out. Oh, we've got the hat all ready for Flanny. Flanny, shout out to Flannelsaurus, who sent me a very sweet message in Discord this morning to lift me up. Really appreciate it. It made me smile. It almost made me cry. I'm not gonna lie, it almost made me cry. But it made me smile. It made me feel very happy, very loved. And you guys might notice that I'm sitting in something a little bit different today. Because if you weren't watching Discord yesterday to find out about the whole fiasco, our chairs kind of are here. No cry. Listen, sometimes, at certain parts of the month, everything will make me cry. And I'm kind of at the point today where even, like, if someone is nice to me, I'll just start crying. I'll be like, that's so sweet. That's only a slight dramatization. So, we've got the hat. It might not want to stay on my head because I don't have headphones on yet, but that's okay. We will in a second. I mean, Salties, that was kind of the implication. The fact of the matter is that there are times of the month where women can't not cry because our hormones dictate that, not like our emotions. It's not like, to me, I don't think it's like an embarrassing necessarily thing, or like it's just a thing, right? It's a fact of life that your hormones decide what happens in your emotions. And there's really not much you can always do about that. Being bipolar is very, very, very different from having period emotions. Very different. But yes. You're so stressed, Exiled Faye. What is happening? Do you want to talk about it? If not, we're here for you anyway. Hyperius85, hello. No, you didn't. No, you did not join at a bad time. It's all good. I promise. I'm not crying now. But yeah, for anyone who was watching the Discord yesterday, our chairs, so way back in August and September, my husband Ghost Pepper and I did what we called the Chairathon. Also, Hyperius, how are you? Everybody, how are you? Exiled Faye, Neo, Miko, please let me know how you're doing. We did what we called the Chairathon. Let me actually put on my headphones and then the hat will ironically stay on my head better. Where we raised money to get new chairs. Our previous chairs were super old. Not super old, but super cheap. And getting old for how cheap they were. And Ghost Peppers was held together by duct tape. Not a word of a lie. So, we wanted to get really nice chairs. We wanted to get something that would hopefully last. And so you may be able to see behind me if I lean in the right direction. We decided to go with Secret Lab. We had a lot of people recommend Secret Lab to us as something that's really good, something that is really ergonomic and lasts a long time. We've had a bit of an experience with ours so far, probably not the intended experience. First of all, I ordered a lumbar support pillow to go with my chair that didn't arrive. Supposedly it's arriving today. We'll see. We'll see, if that is what actually happens. So I have my old lumbar support pillow that you guys may have seen me using with my other chair. It doesn't really fit this chair. It's very, because this chair has like a sort of niche to the back of it. Like it has an indent, and it's slightly too big. It doesn't really fit in, and the chair is a different dimension, so it doesn't really fit. But I've kind of very awkwardly shoved it in there so that I can at least get started using this chair for now. Start getting used to it. It is ever so slightly taller than my other chair, which is probably good. My other chair was actually probably too short, even though I was used to that size. You actually want to be... So for an ergonomic workspace, you want to be looking at, like, the top 1/3 of, like, you want to be looking down on most of the screen, right? So you want your eyes to be level about 1/3 of the way down from the top of your screen. And I was about halfway down, or just slightly over half on my other screen. So this will be better for my eyeballs, and it will be better for my back. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Maskling, hello! How are you? So there's been a bit of a snafu with it, though, because this is a piece of my $600 chair that does not stay in the chair. Both of us got bad armrests on our chairs, because the brackets that hold the little buttons that make them swivel on the left side are both we're both broken. So we paid over $600 for each of these chairs. Secret Labs isn't cheap. And we're not overly impressed with our experience so far. Now, it sounds like the delivery issue was FedEx, and I believe that. It sounds like the fact that the pillow got delayed and that they didn't give me good information about it was FedEx's fault. As soon as Ghost Pepper called them, because the tracking numbers were tied to his cell phone, they instantly like put him through to a person who was like, yeah, it just got separated. But they didn't, because it wasn't tied to my phone number when I called, I just got an automated message, which was really frustrating. This chair, I think, will be comfortable when I get the proper lumbar pillow for it. It's supposed to be out for delivery. It might come during stream. It's also super cute, so I might try to open it on stream, because it's supposed to be a cat character, I think from Monster Hunter, perhaps? It's a gaming cat, but I wanted it because it's a cat. It's not a game I play, but it's just a cute cat. Also, Conquest Publishing, hello! Fed Up X, exactly. But the fact is that we did pay more money for chairs that we wanted to be long-lasting and sturdy, and both of them came with something broken on the exact same side. So I assume it could have been an issue with shipping. There was visible damage on Ghost Pepper's box when it arrived. It's entirely possible that this was damage incurred in shipping. Again, FedEx. But considering we wanted something sturdy, and it feels like we may have gotten something better if we just ordered cheap Amazon chairs, we've not been thrilled. That said, I don't want to slag off Secret Labs because we know people who really like them. I've had this chair for 5 minutes. So we have contacted their warranty department and put in a claim about the broken armrests. We are waiting to hear back from them. So we'll see if the overall experience ends up being better than the initial experience. I do feel like we got clapped with the chairs, Flannel. It's not been what we hoped for or expected. We both had really rough days yesterday. And then our grocery order got messed up too, which, so we ended up on the couch watching Babylon 5 because we were like, screw everything. But we have the chairs now. Hopefully they're going to be good for us. I really, really need an ergonomic, good for my back chair. Maskling, what are you celebrating? Ah, my case to exchange houses is going to get fast-tracked after 3 months of being delayed by the now-fired tenancy officer. My incompetent tenancy officer got fired. Maskling! That's great news that you're going to get fast-tracked, that you're going to be able to move. I'm so excited. I know you've basically been half-packed and waiting. Sag chair. Yeah, I mean, we have, and when I say, like, we know people who, like, have recommended Secret Labs to us, I mean, like, not, like, reviews or message boards or whatever, like, people that we know, people who are friends. I went over to a friend's house and sat in his Secret Lab chair. So, like, and yeah, and Flanny and Andrew have had really great experiences with Secret Labs. We do seem to be a little bit cursed in that whenever someone tells us, oh, this is a really good company, we always order from them, and then we order from them, we just get a completely opposite experience, and I don't know why. I got this super huge monster chair because I'm a gigantic person. Yeah, I have the small chair. If you can imagine, I have the tiniest size. And I actually feel like it's almost like half an inch too big. Like, my feet just barely touch the ground. If I take off my lumbar support pillow and sit all the way back against the backrest in this chair, my feet don't touch the floor. That's how short I am. But Ghost Pepper got a bigger chair, and it's better for him. You sitting in my chair would be like sitting in a giant throne. Yeah, I feel like, because you're so tall, Flanny, I feel like my feet would not touch the floor if I sat in your chair. It would be like sitting in the Iron Throne for me. I've got a Secret Labs chair Titan because I'm tall. Yeah, we have the Titan chairs as well. The brand new 2022 version. I have the small one because I'm small. Ghost Pepper got the regular / large, so like the middle, because they have 3 sizes, right? So he got the middle one. And his is a bit beefier than mine. We got the microfiber. I didn't want the leather one because we've had leather chairs before, and I don't like how they seem really nice when you first get them, but you start sticking to them, and they peel, and they eventually split, and it's just they're really hard to maintain. Which is one of the reasons why we got the 2022 instead of the 2020, is because I could only get the leather in the size that I needed for the 2020, and I hated all of the designs. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pay slightly more for the 2022. I'm gonna get the cloth. It's easier to maintain. It just feels nicer to sit on in the summer. And like you said, leather's an arsehole to take care of. So overall, I'm hoping to be happy with this purchase. We're just a little frustrated right now because the arrival and preparation stage did not go according to plan. Mine's the cookies and cream one. Oh, nice! It has a little water damage in the seat because I tried to clean it after blood got on it. Blood is hard to clean. For anyone who's wondering, because I'm a writer, I know this totally because I'm a writer. Never clean blood with hot water. That will cause it to set, and then it will be impossible to get out. You always want to clean blood with cold water and something abrasive like salt. So if you actually just get a little salt on there, something that will actually rub against. And you want to try, at first you want to try dabbing, because otherwise you'll spread it. And then when you have to get in there and scrub, cold water, salt, to sort of rub it away. There you go. Now you know. Mine is black with blue highlights. Nice. Ghost got a all black one, and I got the frost blue, as you can see. Yeah, that is the problem with blood, is it sets pretty quickly. And once it does that, you pretty much need bleach. unfortunately. It's one of those things. Let me just make sure I know I've been talking about stuff. Hyperia says, I'm good. Glad to hear it. Masculine celebrating Exiled Fae. I went in on the BU chair, and I'm sure at this point I'll never get it. Oh, was that a Kickstarter? Was that like one of those like crowdfunded things? Who's the Cool Red? Oh, on the desktop? That is, what's her name? Is it Emerald? Princess Emerald originally from Magic Knight Rayearth, but this is her from Tsubasa Chronicles. That somebody added color to the manga art. That is not what I intended to do. I just drunken camera usage today. It's Stacy from accounting. If you've ever read Tsubasa Chronicle, there's a part where they go into a world where it's almost like the Pied Piper, and there's this image of this lady who she looks like a ghostly lady that comes out during twilight, and she sings a song to the children and lures all the children into a ghostly castle. And they think that she's a vengeful spirit, but it turns out that she's actually doing it to protect the children. So that's what that is. That's that. I have a lot of, for someone who almost never watches anime anymore, I have a lot of anime desktops. Exactly, Flanny. Think of the children. I was about to say it straight from Hocus Pocus. I can see how out of context it would look like Hocus Pocus. Let's talk about writing, shall we? Because I'm running late today. I do apologize. I'm slow today. I'm not feeling 100%, so if I'm not, super high energy today, I apologize. But I'm feeling like edits. So you guys might remember this. Let me just blow my nose quick. This was, so back in August, everything happened in August. We did, on stream, I outlined a brand new novel series, Everyone's Child, and we did all the world building, all the character building, and all the initial outlining for the novel right here on stream. And then I, of course, wrote said novel. I wrote the entire thing on stream, and I was hoping at some point to do all of the edits on stream. Unfortunately, because of how the year has fallen, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm simply not going to be able to do every editing session on stream. I have to get as much of this book edited as possible in December in order to keep to schedule. And I just, because we have a trip coming up to Ontario in 2 weeks, almost exactly 2 weeks now, I really have to, I think in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks and 2 days. We have a trip to Ontario, so I have to just sort of cram things in as best I can. I'm not even gonna get this whole book finished before the end of the year. I really, really wanted to, but it's just not gonna be possible. So I'm gonna do as much of the editing on stream as I can. I'm still going to be giving insight into the process, talking about my thought process and all that. But I'm simply just not going to have time to do it all. So yesterday morning, while this whole chair fiasco was happening, I went through this. You guys might remember after I wrote the first draft, we did this, which is we came back to the original outline. updated it so that it actually matched everything I wrote, because I don't necessarily follow my outline. I have an outline, I don't marry myself to it. So this was the updated version of what I wrote versus what I originally planned to write. And I left myself some notes for things that potentially would make good edits. And that was back in, I think, it may have been September, may have been October. We did that, and then I just sort of put it on a shelf for a while, and yesterday morning I came back and did this, which might, switching between them, it might look exactly the same to you, but there's much more red on the new one. You can kind of, if I do this, you can see that I have the original outline and then I have the first edit. And so these are my solid ironclad plans for what I'm going to do to this novel in order to fix it. How's it going, like, in general or novel-wise, Neo? How's it going for you, Neo? You've been quiet since you said hey. Aside from the chair thing, honestly, things are going good. Yesterday was a shitty day, not gonna lie, but today is hopefully gonna be better. So yeah, these are my actual plans for how I'm going to change this novel. And you'll notice that some scenes have almost nothing on them because I'm happy with those scenes. And you'll notice that some scenes have a sea of red that just need to be fixed. Hey, Just the Jessie Cat. I'm always happy to see you on, even if I haven't had a chance to stop by. Well, I'm glad to see you here as well. I'm glad that I'm streaming this morning because this was totally unplanned. How are you? So yeah, I won't talk through the process of the ending chapters. Obviously, we've been keeping those secret. But one of the big things that I did do yesterday that was very important was up here, and I won't hover on that for too long because it's a little bit spoilery. But I basically, if I do it this way, you can see better, maybe. I basically went through, and with each of my characters, I sort of wrote out their plot arc. And the reason why I did this is because the most important thing in a series, because I know that this is going to be a series, I know that it's going to have plot threads that run throughout it. So I'm not necessarily writing just one complete story arc in this singular novel, but I do need to have complete character arcs within each installment. It needs to feel like each character has done something or changed in some way in order for the book to feel satisfying. And so I've basically gone through and written down, this is how this character feels at the beginning of the novel, this is how they feel at the end of the novel, this is how they get there. I call that tracing my character arcs. I don't know if there's a proper term for it. But I'm basically just making sure that that each of my main characters is getting enough attention to feel like they are changing as a person, because character development is one of the most important things in a novel, and especially in a novel series. One of the characters that really needs the most attention for this is Jaolin. His plot got a little bit lost during the initial writing, which is normal for me. Usually there's at least one plot that sort of falls by the wayside. I actually don't need to do a ton to fix it. I think it's going to be actually quite easy, but having sat down and gone through that process and sort of synthesized and traced, like, this is where he's going, this is how he's getting there, has really helped. And in actual fact, I think that in doing this, I've sort of found my theme, first of all. I think the theme of this book series is control, and trying to be in control of your fate, and trying to be in control of what happens to you, and where you go and what you do, right? Each of my characters, Ciri, Aleath, and Jaolin, each of them individually has a desire to change something about their life. Ciri wants to do something important. Aleath just wants to be in control of her life for a change. And Jaolin wants to break away from this being that's inside him. He wants to amend this mistake that he's made, right? And so we have this overall theme that's starting to emerge of feeling trapped by fate or circumstance and trying to find a way to be who you want to be and do what you do want to do in, like, despite that. Which is not something I planned. It's just something that sort of emerged through this process. Had a phone call confirming I'll get my old job back. Nice! Neo, congrats. You were very good at that job. I'm sorry that you have to go back, but you were good at it, and I know you'll do well. The household had the flu. Oh no! Jessie Cat, I hope everyone's feeling better. Editing study has slowed to a crawl because of it. I can't imagine. Character arcs are very important. I am a very character-oriented writer too, so my plot springs from my characters, right? So for me, making sure that my character arcs are all complete and doing what I want them to do is how I make sure my story is working. I find Plotter really useful for this particular stage, for sure. I can trace the scenes by character. Yeah, and I just do that manually, right? I just go through each of my scene, like, I just go through my outline. This is why I have an outline, is so that I can go through very quickly. I can see this is what's happening with this character. Okay, but I've missed. And I think what actually is going to happen with Jalen, poor sweet Jalen, is that instead of getting closer to his goal in this first part of his character arc, he's going to get farther away from it. He has pledged to himself and promised to himself that he wants to break from this being inside him. He wants to find a way to be rid of it, to get it out of him, to be free of its influence. And as part of the process of bonding with the people around him and interacting with the circumstances surrounding him, instead of pulling himself away from this being, he ends up being pushed closer, which to me is very interesting, right? Because that's going to mean that at a later point in his story, he is going to hit a crisis point, right? He's going to have to make uncomfortable decisions. I don't entirely know yet, but it might mean that he doesn't get what he wants. Not every character gets what they want. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these characters evolve. But I feel like I have a really solid grasp of what each character wants and where they're going to be at the end of this installment, which makes it feel much more satisfying than the initial draft felt. I also feel like I'm starting to create a living world. I'm starting to get this bigger sense of what's happening around my main plot. And it's starting to feel like a big living fantasy world, whereas I worried that it felt too closed and too isolated during the first draft. So, really long-winded way of saying I feel like this story is coming along. I feel like I'm going to be able to get it into the position where I wanted it to be. And you guys might remember that a couple months ago, when I was working on this on stream, I was saying that I wasn't entirely happy with it. I didn't know how I felt about the first draft. There were moments where I wanted to just toss it out, and I had complete doubts about anything, and I just kind of decided to forge ahead and get to the end and see what it looked like. And I'm glad I did that, because looking at this, I think it's going to be a lot easier to fix than I thought it was going to be. There's a good solid foundation here. Thanks, Runewolf. How are you, by the way? My colleagues are happy about it, and I am too. Let's go back to the good old 21 hours a day. Neo, I hope that you will still find time to rest and relax and not overwork yourself. But I know why your team is happy to have you back, and it's because you take good care of them. You're meticulous with details. Probably whoever's been in charge of things since you've been gone hasn't been doing as good, and they want you back. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna hop AFK for just like 2 minutes to reheat my coffee here in a second before we start sprinting. I'm gonna be doing 30-minute sprints today because editing takes me a little bit more time to get deep in focus. And I find that if I only do 20 minutes, I'm just starting to get like really well focused, and then the timer's almost done. So we're going to be doing 30-minute sprints today instead. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new draft folder called Second Draft. Because this book already had a first draft way in the long ago. And we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste it in here. And what that does is it just creates a backup of that draft. It creates, for posterity, for peace of mind, a complete version of that draft that I won't touch. And that way, if I change something that I'm unhappy with, that I need to go back and look at again, if I need anything that I remove for some reason from the book, there's a copy of it there. And I will now use this file in order to do all of my edits, but still have a version of my first draft. And you might think, why would you do that? First drafts are awful. You never know when you're going to need to go. You never know when you're going to overcut and need to go back and restore something. I've done that several times. And you never know, like, if you delete a scene, if you delete a snippet of dialogue, you might be able to take that later and use it somewhere else. Some people actually create, like, a graveyard file where they put all those little snippets. I just keep all of my drafts separated. So that, yeah, I'm going to delete stuff from this file, but that stuff still exists somewhere. And if I need it, I can just go get it. I can restore it. I can put it somewhere else. There's a record of it. Also, I do this way because someday I might want to do a comparison of files just to see how my drafts have changed. And you'll be surprised what it looks like when you take a first draft and an editing draft and you mush them together and Word shows you how much it's changed, right? Sometimes it's good to see how much difference you're making with editing, because editing can be really hard and soul-sucking, and you need a way to be like, oh yeah, I did do a lot. Angel Faye, hello, how are you? Bruno says, I'm good, resting and still stuck on this draft, but also getting to know my computer. I'm sorry to hear you're still stuck on the draft. I hope the computer is going well. I believe you asked a question in the Discord, but I unfortunately don't know anything. I don't know anything about that type of device, so I wasn't sure how to help. For art and scripts, we have a morgue. Exactly, yeah, art is never wasted. You can always use it somewhere. So it doesn't hurt to have that record. And exactly like Exiled Fate never delete anything. Apparently it's okay, but the person isn't a detail maniac. I mean, being detail-oriented in your line of work is a good thing, Neo. I'm at my last chapter before the epilogue. Angel Faye, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. So I'm going to open this. This is now our draft file that we're working from. Some of you may remember that when we first started this novel, it was called Someone's Wayward Child instead of Someone's Suffering Child. I changed that because I want to use, or it was called Someone's Errant Child, I think is what it was called at first. I changed that because I want to use Wayward in the next title, and I liked Someone's Suffering Child for this better. I felt it made more sense. So first change to the new draft, different title. This title might change again. Titles change a lot throughout. And one other thing I need to do is to decide if I'm gonna name my chapters. I usually do that during the editing stage. I have a love-hate relationship with naming my chapters. I do it a lot. Sometimes I'm really happy with it. Part of me is like, just don't name them. Just don't go down that path of madness again. But I don't know. It might happen. I don't know. I'm gonna take a quick, I know that I've basically just popped on stream and talked at you guys for like 45 minutes, so I apologize about that, but I'm gonna take a quick AFK bio break, reheat my coffee so that we can get settled in and start doing the big work. Rewriting my first novel was an amazing idea. Absolutely, Angel Faye. I have rewritten several novels in my time, and I've always found it very rewarding. It's a lot of work, but they made my work readable. Just a quick rundown. Really, the only note that I left myself for the first scene is that Ciri's mentor needs a name. Because as we talked about during my first drafts, I don't name people during first drafts unless I named them during the outlining stage. So I'm actually just gonna pop over to Fantasy Name Generator and just generate some names. And the first thing we'll do when I get back is we'll just pick a name for this lady, so that I can just get her name in there right off the bat. And if I pick the name before I start the sprint timer, cool, right? Then it won't slow me down. And then we'll get right into it. This is only about 2.5 pages, the first scene. I'm gonna try to edit 2 scenes today. So the first scene is quite short and doesn't need much. The second scene is also quite short, but needs some details infused into it. So I think we're gonna end up spending a bit more time on that one. I don't know if I can edit the first scene in a single sprint. That would be pretty nice, but we will see. We will see. So just take a minute. If you need to get up, stretch, grab something to drink, take any medications. I have taken mine for the day, I can see, because my thing is open. Do that, and then we'll come back and we'll get some actual productivity going and get some things happening on this stream. Hopefully, again, I always worry that when I ramble about like writing mechanics and stuff forever, that it's just horribly boring. So hopefully there was something useful in there. And I'll be back for the productivity portion. I have returned. Only remembered when I saw the BRB screen and remembered why Starborn left. What? Went to get tea and forgot it on the counter. Well, I'm glad I could remind you. You gotta drink the tea. Swiftness author, hello. I have done that. I have, like... I've walked into the kitchen and opened the microwave and been like, oh, I made tea. Because I reheat my tea and coffee in the microwave if it gets cold, so... Oh, Swiftness author raided! Oh my goodness, I was AFK! Let me get you a shout out. Thank you so much for the raid! Thank you! Sorry I was AFK. Senator, also, hello! Enjoy the work lurk. How's it going? Oh no, it must have been like seconds after. Normally if I see it, like after I've gone to the BRB, I'll come back. I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. Sassy and Swift, hello, hello. Might need a nap. Naps are the best. I will always be in support of naps. How did your stream go? ECC Books, hello, hello. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you? Tea is always lovely. Always recommend. Had sweet pea lemonade. I've not had that. That sounds really good. When I read the title, I thought it said child as in kid, not like Goosebumps. The queen has returned. Oh, is that me? You're so sweet. Let me get a shout out for ECC Books as well. We just got back from break, so we're catching up with chat. Hello, Tempest. How are you? Daz, hello, hello, hello. ECC, how does it feel to be back among the living? Oh my goodness. I am so unbelievably excited for the Game of Tomes finale on Thursday. I don't feel like I submitted as much stuff as some other people, but I tried my best to make sure that I got some stuff in. The Living. Bob won. The dinos did it. And Bob was able to bring everyone back from the dead. You're alive again, exiled Fae. And the finale will be this Thursday afternoon. Can I share a picture of a bat I drew? Absolutely, Tempest, and I'll show it on stream if you would like. It's 8 o'clock apparently. Me being on the Pacific coast, I think I'm coming online as a bunch of people on the East Coast are finishing up, so it makes sense. 52 submitted stuff and presented 62 characters in the finale. Yes, I'm so excited. We the Molluskins got together in our area, our chat area, and we put together a little something for a rally for the final battle. Oh my gosh, look at how cute, Tempest. That's awesome. I love it. Look at that. And that's not counting the photobombing. Yes, I was able to take some pictures last night, even though my whole day basically exploded. And Sappho really liked them, so that kind of made my day. It's beautiful. I love it, Tempest. Man, I wish I could draw stuff like this. I don't practice enough. I've shown this on stream a few times, but the last like real art I did, I always have to dig it out of the pile. The last real art I did was I drew Dameron in a corset for reasons, you know, just corsets are cool. But I don't necessarily consider my art to be the best. But there you go. There's Dameron in a corset. Oh, I can switch the... Hang on. I have so many Yay, Papers and Pants! There you go. Dahlgren in a corset. Smoking, of course, because when is he not? That was like the last like actual drawing that I did more than like 4 lines of. Whoops! Oh, we got a timer. We got a rogue timer. I was very intimidated by the bat, but now I'm proud. You should be proud. It's super cute batty. Oh my goodness. So we are actually about to start working for realsies. I promised. I promised we would. I actually don't need my blanket anymore. Let me... I'm trying not to keep it on. The new chair has an ever, like, very faint, but noticeable to me, ever so slight, like, smell to it. Probably because it's brand new. So I'm trying not to keep my blanket on it for now because I want it to air out. So I've put my blanket over there off camera. Couldn't draw a year ago? Well, I mean, your art is gorgeous, Tempest, so today I color in a squirrel and draw a wolf, cat. I don't know, I have like 12 animals to draw in the next few days. Are these for the Game of Tomes? Or are these just for like fun? So the first thing we are gonna do is we're going to look at how many words were, how many words were in this scene. I still need to decide if I want to name the chapters. I'm tempted to leave it in chat's hands, but you guys will want them named, won't you? Won't you? 1342 is how many words we wrote in this scene. So I write down how many words it started as and how many words it finished as, and then I add it up with like 10% of what like the words that I edited, and then that's like my final count. I'm thinking of changing. I like the Game of Tomes method better for how they measure edits, so I'm thinking of changing it for the new year, but I want it to be consistent for this year, so I'm doing it my old way. So we're prepared there. We're starting at, this draft was 66,078 words. I tend to, my drafts tend to shrink because I overwrite. I might add in some places as much as I take away, but I would expect this to ring in at a little over 60K when it's finished. I would say it probably won't be more than 65 when it's finished, which is good. That's a really good, solid first novel and about the length I was going for. They're for a Game of Tomes, but for a secret thing. Ooh, I'm excited to find out. The bat isn't super secret, it's a background character. I always love finding out what everyone else has been working on for Game of Tomes during the lore streams. It's so fun. I support your right to refuse to go down that rabbit hole. Exiled Faye, thank you. The thing is, I only have one series where I didn't name the titles. Name the chapters. And part of me is like, I don't always have to name the chapters. Like, I can write a series where I don't name the chapters, but then I'm like, can I? Have I set an expectation? Have I created an expectation that people will look at my, like, table of contents and see chapter I don't know. I'm way overthinking it. I'm way overthinking. But that's what I do. Would I be a writer if I didn't really overthink things? All right, and now we need to pick a name for series mentor, and then we'll start the sprint. So I like this one, Niceru. I don't often go for like names that have apostrophes in them, but I do like that one. I also want something that feels sufficiently different from what we've already used as names. Hey, Halo! Let's do stretch. Vinyl, hello! Doing okay. Recovering from yesterday's chair fiasco. We're gonna be talking like a Southern Belle for masculine for the next 10 minutes. Just recovering from yesterday. Cheers, Halo. We also got a hydrate as well as that stretch. As you can see, we ordered these nice new secret lab chairs, and each of us got a broken handrest to some degree. Here's mine. Here's my piece that doesn't stay in the way it's supposed to. So considering what we paid for these chairs, we're not overly happy with that. Also, my lumbar support pillow is supposed to be on the way. It still hasn't arrived. We'll see if that happens. But aside from that, it's going pretty good. Yeah, it's brand new. I'm still getting used to it. I do feel like once I have the right lumbar, I've kind of shoved my old lumbar support pillow into the niche here. It doesn't quite fit. I think once I have the right pillow that's actually designed for this chair, it will look a bit better. We don't know. We submitted a warranty claim, so we're waiting to hear back on that. I hope they will, but the armrests came pre-attached to the bottom of the chair, so we have our suspicions about how they'll deal with that, but we'll see. We wanted something that was sturdy, something that would last, so we're not too happy that they came already pre-broken, but we'll see. I have not reclined back very far, I will admit, Maskling, but apparently people nap in these chairs, so I'm very tempted. I'm very tempted during the Game of Thrones finale on Thursday to just kick it back. Just kick back my chair and, although I don't want to fall asleep. I wouldn't want to fall asleep during the epic final battle. Also, don't recline the chair while leaning back. Good advice. I'm assuming it can very suddenly just go. You do have to press on it slightly to get it to recline, but all right, let's see. Is that the name we want to go with? I like to at least give the whole list a scan and not necessarily take the first name I like, because then I might see another name later on that I really liked and then I missed out on using it. Skeliard. What an interesting name. Adrothus. Now I think I like this one. I think I like Nasaru, so we'll take that. I'm just gonna put that over here in my little note document, and we're gonna start a 30-minute timer. So I might be a little bit quiet since we've got the Southern Belle, and I won't be talking as much. I'll extend the timer to make sure you get the full amount of Southern Belle that you paid for with your points, Masklin. I'll make sure that happens. I hope you're enjoying it. Vinyl, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good week with the dresses. I hope everything's going good. Have you guys got snow out where you are? Because we've had some, and I ain't been happy about it. And anyone who is writing or editing today, I hope the words go well for you. Let's make sure that editing time is in a good spot. Did I ever move it? No, I didn't. The snow is starting to fall right now. Oh no, Vinyl, I hope it's a small one. I hope it doesn't stick. I know winter is a necessary evil in the area where we live, but I'm not thrilled. And we got snow really early in the season, so it's going to be a long one. Now this looks like it's not quite lining up properly, because it's not. There we go. There we go. Now, opening sentence is, the entire village turned out to bear witness as the woman stepped onto the main street of their town. I do like that. Usually I change my first sentence, but I do like this one. The entire village turned out to bear witness as the woman stepped onto the main street of their town, but though her pain and suffering were obvious at a glance, not a single person stepped forward to offer their assistance. I think we're just gonna leave it. It snowed last week and it's been sub-zero, so the roads were clear, but it stayed on the ground this whole time. Same. We had a hailstorm one night, and the hail never melted. it just was these little pellets sitting on top of the snow. It was the weirdest thing. I'd never seen anything like that. It doesn't usually hail in the winter. Now this we're going to have to change because it says whispers passed through the gathering throng as the gathered began to speculate. That we don't want to use that word twice in the same sentence. Diamond-studded snow, exactly. It was the weirdest thing. I think it eventually sort of melted into the snow or like got pulverized into the snow, but for a solid day and a half there was hail just sitting on top of the snow. It was the weirdest thing. Gonna have frogs soon. Are they gonna fall from the sky? Isn't that a sign of the end times? I'm actually going to use a read and highlight to see where I've used that word. Maybe I could just get rid of this. Need to figure out what happens next in this sequence. Good luck. I assume it has something to do with the animals. Maskling, did you see the cat stream? Did you see the Fall of Felis? Because they credited all the cats, and I really liked what they came up with for your little avatar. Ruby encrusted rain. That's blood. I'd prefer the rubies myself. Trying to be a bit more descriptive in this new draft. That's what I always leave notes to make more descriptions, more physical descriptions in my edited drafts. Exile Faye, I feel you. Nice. I also sung the Ocelot. Oh, Maskling, I didn't know that. That's awesome. It was so, everything in the cat stream was so good. I really enjoyed it. But I loved that Fellowship of the Spreadsheet opening. That I have raved about that to people who were not even on that stream, because it was chef's kiss amazing. I was rolling on the floor laughing. the whole time. Oops, that's not what I wanted to check. Comf. How's it going? What's up? Oh yeah. I'm supposed to be doing the Southern Belle. I just discovered my hair is now long enough that I can tie it up in a messy tail. I have to make 2 tails and tie both together. Oh my goodness, Maskling. Just have to wait until it's long enough that I can tie it with 1 hair tie instead of 3. Is it just me or is the tick-tock of the clock a bit... You can hear the ticking of my clock? You guys can hear my dragon clock? Is that what you're saying? Or is it in the song? Is it in the music? I can skip. If the song has a weird tick, I can skip it. I didn't know that you guys could hear... If I move my mic away from the dragon, do you hear the clock less? I'm doing pretty good, Comf. Just got a new chair. Been having a weird experience with it. Not quite ideal, but we're getting there, hopefully. Just getting some edits done. How are you? Okay. When Maskling said is the tick-tock of the clock a bit loud, I was like, well, I didn't realize you guys could hear my clock. There's a little, there's a little dragon clock right there. I don't know if you guys can see. There you go. Okay, good. I was worried. I might have missed it. I might have missed that comment in context because I've been so focused. Comf, how's it been going for you? I haven't seen you in a while. I actually just made the sentence worse. Just been busy at work. I feel you. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me too. Kata Nada, hello. Hashtag what I say whenever I'm editing poetry. I actually just made that sentence worse. Yeah, it's surprising. Sometimes you're like, I'm gonna fix this, and then you're like, I did not fix that. How's it going, Kata Nada? We're still doing a little bit of that Southern Belle since there's been so much time in between me talking. Maskling, enjoy. Yo, look. Oh, thank you, Comf. This is my Southern Belle, redeemed by Maskling. Since I'm doing a sprint and not talking very much, I'm just keeping it going. Sunderland programming, that's awesome. Comf. What language are you programming? If you want to share, you don't gotta. I'm just wondering if it's one of the ones I've done. Well, that was, I typed ridged structures instead of rigid, I think, so... No. I just broke my brain. Apparently, if you just spell a word that much wrong, your brain will be like, you don't know what this word is anymore. I literally hit a point where my brain was like, what are you doing? We're supposed to be working on the Avis finale, but I think we're actually all just hibernating after the end of the month. I know Sappho was hoping to get some Avis stuff in there. I've totally had that happen. I'm just glad I'm in the presence of other writers, because I think only another writer can understand being like, no, I'm trying to write this, and you just keep just doing it wrong, and you're like, what am I doing? What's happening? Right now I'm getting an overview of everything, so we're just in C. But I'm also poking around at Python. Ooh, interesting. Python is one I never did. C is, I think, one of the harder ones to learn, but once you know the syntax, it's pretty straightforward. I really liked Perl, was one that I did, and PHP is pretty easy as well. Those are more web programming languages than, like, machine programming languages, but Perl was really delightful. Coastrim, hello! Is that actually a bot? MyStorm.store. Do we feel like, Coastrim, are you a real person? I'll give you a minute to answer. I'll give you to the end of the sprint to answer, and if not, I'm gonna assume that you're just bot spamming. It just says, hi all for your stream on mystorm.store with a space in between. I'm assuming it's a bot trying to get us to go somewhere. I'm trying to give it the benefit of a doubt if it's a real person to be like, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to actually send a link without asking. But it seems like it's probably a bot. Guys, did you know I'm only 2 follows away from 500? I can't even believe. Yeah, do we feel like that's a real person? Do we feel like it's a bot? I feel like it's probably a bot. Hey, Novasaurus, how's it going? Look, sometimes even bots deserve the benefit of it. I don't know. It's a morning. I'm doing okay, Novasaurus. How's it going? My coffee warmer is just not doing, but it's probably because I'm doing longer sprints today and I'm just not. Realm of Music, hello! Thank you for the follow! Welcome in! Amass the Horde, Words by Claw Paw ideas are coming for the tome! Not sure Chris's raid call. I believe it's more books, but you're welcome to do any raid call you want, and that's a great one. Nice share, thank you, it's brand new. We're having a little bit of trouble on the chair front, but hopefully we're gonna get it worked out. I feel kind of nice. I'm hoping that when I go check the door again, my actual lumbar pillow that's supposed to go with this chair will be here, but we'll see. Did I just put an extra space in there? Alright, it just looks weird because of the italics. Darth and I had the same... Oh, nice! His is Batman and mine is Superman. Nice! We just went for the plain cloth. But I've heard that they're gonna make, like, covers that you can buy for the cloth chairs in the future, so that'll be cool. I'm supposed to be getting a really cute cat lumbar pillow. It just didn't come with the rest of it, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it'll be there when I check the door. Almost to the end of this scene, but the timer did run out. So I'm gonna take a quick break here. Just gonna pop AFK for a minute, check the door to see if that package arrived, and give my coffee a quick refresh. I'm only one follower away from 500. You were my 499, Realm of Music. I think Darth and I should order a lumbar pillow for us. We have horrid posture. Listen, my last chair actually like destroyed my back because it had no lumbar support. This one does have built-in. I don't think it's enough for me because my back is bad. My back is very finicky. I've actually got another, you might be able to see if I lean far enough. I've just kind of shoved my other pillow in there, but it's too big. It doesn't quite fit in the niche properly. And I ordered a cute kitty one, so hopefully it'll come. Hopefully it will. I mean, I can check the FedEx, but I don't know how quickly they update those. It still says in transit. But I'm hoping that it'll be even more comfortable once I get the proper pillow in there. But yeah, for anyone who sits in their chair for like any length of time throughout the day, if you're sitting for 4, 5, 8, 10 hours, you definitely need lumbar support. I think people don't realize how much like pressure you're actually putting on your back if you don't have something. The idea isn't like you don't want to like lean back necessarily against your chair. You want to sit straight upright, but there should be something that lightly supports that gentle curve in the back of your spine. That's the lumbar, right? That's the lumbar area, the lumbar spine. If you don't have something to gently support that, what happens is you put tons of pressure on that part of your back, and it can actually start pinching nerves. I don't know that I pinched a nerve with mine, but I definitely was starting to get some really serious aches. And so I started using a lumbar support pillow, and it worked all kinds of magic. But the thing that I'm noticing about the Secret Lab chair versus my old chair, which I'm actually quite pleased about, is that this chair is very sturdy. It's really... I don't want to say like stiff because it doesn't feel stiff, but it's supportive, right? Like my butt doesn't sink as much into the bottom, so it has that support, right? It's pushing when I'm pushing down on it, it's pushing back up on me, so it's giving me support. And the same seems to be true of like the back is very sturdy. So it's giving me really solid support. Which is what I'm looking for in a chair, because I do sit at my computer chair most days 8 to 10 hours a day. The chairs seem very basic, but they're so comfy. They do say on their site that they focus on ergonomics, and that's what I wanted. I wanted something very ergonomic. I wanted something that was going to be something that was going to last. I am annoyed about this broken piece of my brand new chair that doesn't stay in where it's supposed to stay in. We did contact their warranty service about that. But I'm looking forward to, I'm still getting used to it. This is my first day using this chair. And like I said, I don't have the proper lumbar pillow for it yet. Hopefully I will soon. It's the most magical time of the day. Peter, hello. Everyone's favorite hero, Peter, has arrived, and he's wearing his sassy pants. How's it going, Peter? Darth has broken 3 previous chairs versus I still had my first chair when Darth ordered the Secret Labs chair. Mine got to be passed down. Yeah, my husband's previous chair, we bought our chairs at the same time. My husband's was held together by duct tape. It wasn't a Secret Labs chair. It was just a cheap, like, we went to Costco and bought, you know, wholesale office chairs. So they weren't the worst, but they weren't the best, surely. His was held together by duct tape. Mine is, you can kind of see it's over there. I've just kind of put it over there for now. Ghosts will have to be, mine will keep as a spare chair for like visitors. His will have to go in the garbage because it's held together by duct tape. But my husband is very hard on like chairs and pillows and like all that kind of stuff. So we're really hoping that this will, yeah, that's where we got our chairs before too, was Costco. So we're really hoping that these will stand up better. We wanted to pay the extra and get something that would last. So we're a little frustrated with our initial experience hasn't been the greatest. But hopefully that'll turn around in the long term. We know people who really love these chairs, so I'm doing okay, Peter. Are you sending the chair into the Nami Mimu? the Nami Mimu? I'm not sure what that is. I'm sitting in the chair right now. I'm managing the National Megan Memorial Museum. Oh, is there such a thing, Peter? If they want it, I guess. I don't know where the National Megan Museum is located. This is the first I'm hearing of it. Do they have all my books? Is that what it is? Also, Realm of Music, did I ask how you're doing? If I didn't ask how someone's doing, please tell me how you're doing, because I want to know how everybody's doing. I did get very absorbed in the sprint. And in fact, it's noon, and I still have another entire scene to edit after this, so I'm going to take just a quick 2-minute break here and go straight back into sprinting, so I apologize if I'm a little quieter than normal. But we're here to do the work, and we're going to get the work done. I'm pretty happy with how this scene is going. I know that I'm really hard on my openings when I write them. I'm much slower with writing and editing my openings than pretty much everything else because I know that it has to be like bang on. So I'm expecting once I get past the first scene that this will be a tiny bit easier because I won't be on the first scene. But we'll see. I'm good today, my last day off before work tomorrow night, and get to hang out with my awesome husband. Well, that sounds awesome. We had a rough day in the Cutler household yesterday, but I'm hoping today will be better. It seems to be going better. We ended up just spending the night on the couch watching Babylon 5 because we were like, screw everything. They have all your books, a replica of your desk for people to take photos behind. They have a life-size Madame Tussauds replica of you and Mr. Pepper. And the gift shop next door is the Flutter Dime Memorial Bar where you can get drunk because Flutter. That actually sounds amazing, Peter. It sounds perfect. Sounds an ideal place to spend the day, really. I hope they have, like, little mechanical keyboards that you can, like, clicky-clack for, like, ambiance. Because that's my total vibe, right? Alright. BRB. Spend just 2 minutes with the lovely little. I better turn this timer off, or it'll start on its own. Spend just a You guys, there's a box. I want to go to the Build-A-Domran. Oh my god, that actually would work very well. There's so many versions of him. You could actually... There's a Cowboy Domran. There's a Steampunk Domran. You could build your own. It'd be amazing. Clicky Clackies in the Nami Mimu. They have speakers all through the museum with actual audio captured from your Twitch stream of the Click Clacks, and each room is dedicated to a different novel, and they have a loop of the actual Clacks from the creation of that novel. Peter, you've thought a lot about this. And at the gift shop, there's a shirt that says, I clicked Megan's Clacks at the Nami Mimu. In the gift shop, they have a Ghost Pepper official pepper growing kit. And they have a Build-A-Domerin, like a Build-A-Bear, where you can choose your Domerin's expression, outfit, and 5 phrases. At least one of the phrases has to be just cursing. In the museum, they have a how much damage can you cause game, where through VR you take on the role of the mechanical dragon at the start of the end of all things. If you can find and kill Gaia, then you get a special pin at the gift shop. Oh my gosh, Peter. I was gonna say before you BRB'd that I got a clicky-clacky keyboard exactly the same as Coffee. Nice! Yeah, I have a mechanical keyboard too. I love it. I live by it. I'm gonna open this box while I talk, so I apologize if I float off camera. But yeah, like, I just love the mechanical sound. It's so visceral. It feels so nice. I get my scissors into this box. This should be my proper lumbar pillow, guys. We're gonna open it on stream and find out. And find out if it's as cute as it looks in the picture. My scissors are not having fun with this box. This brown tape. Myself, I have the keyboard, the mechanical keyboard I have is a Ducky one. I used to have a DAS keyboard, but they're very, very expensive, so I don't have one anymore. Okay. Paper. Oh, there's a box. There's a box inside the box. There's a box inside the box. I guess League of Legends is the game that this cat is from? I don't know. I just wanted it because it's cute. But you guys might actually know the character. Oh, it's cute, you guys. The cuteness is real. The cuteness is real. Look at... Not to cut into anything important here. Ta-da! Look at it! It's so cute! Look at that! It's Yuumi, I guess, from League of Legends. I just wanted it because it's a cute blue cat. Like, honestly. Trying to think what else we can have at the Nami Mimu. I mean, you've filled it out pretty well, Peter. A life-size mattress, Chan. Yeah, you have to be able to lay on it and take pictures. Look, it's so cute. Okay, let's install the back pillow. Let me just move this out of the way so that it's not cluttering up the space. So this is the one I've been using. It's very awkwardly strapped to the chair because it just doesn't quite fit. And now this one, if we lower the camera a little bit so you guys can see, this one just sits like right in there, all cute and all. And then I'm assuming what I can do is just, when I sit down, I can just gently lift it into position. This definitely, I feel like I fit in the chair a lot better with this, because that other pillow was really just crammed in there. This is very comfy. Very comfy. I'm excited. I'm a cute little pillow of kitty. What is my purpose? I mean, I don't sit on it with my butt, Peter. It sits against my back, so I don't know that it collects farts. But I'm very happy with it. I do feel like I fit in the chair better. Like, instantly feel like I fit in the chair better. Now that it has like a lumbar support pillow that actually fits. Farts drift. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I bow to the wisdom of chat there. Let me fix my... Just look at how cute it is though. Like, seriously. I fixed my mat here because it's all bunched up. Yeah, I'm excited to now that we have the actual pillow that's actually supposed to go with it. I feel like I feel like I fit in the chair better. It feels much more comfortable. I don't feel like I'm like the other pillow was very like I was really shoving it back in order to feel like I was sitting properly in the chair. And now I feel like I'm just very lightly sitting in the chair the way I'm supposed to. So that's good. That's a good sign. You shouldn't feel like you should never really feel like you're crammed into your office chair. It should just feel like you're kind of resting in it. It should feel very equilibrium, I guess, is a way to say it. Like, it should feel like you are supported and like able to like sit comfortably, but you shouldn't really be like sinking into it or sort of cramming yourself into it, if that makes sense. It's not like a couch. Sink into the couch. Don't sink into your office chair. It's just an occupational hazard, catching drifting farts. The actual purpose in life is lumbar lifeguard. Exactly. The kitty's true purpose is to keep my back from self-destructing. And it's perfect because I can just lightly lift it and so that it's laying exactly against my lumbar area. And once I'm situated exactly where I want to be, it's very comfortable. Instantly feels more comfortable than before. Occupational hazard or special perk? I mean, yeah, that depends, I suppose. I'm gonna go straight into another sprint, like I said, because I've still got a ton of edits to do. I was hoping to do way more, but like I said, I'm slow today. So let's truck along. Let's have 30 more minutes of editing / writing, whatever you're working on. Feel free to divide this into smaller sprints if you're writing or whatever. I just need those 30 minutes to really dig into the edits. I instantly like this. I feel like I just fit. It feels like the whole ensemble fits better at my desk now that I have the correct pillow in there. Something that actually fits this chair. Someday I'll learn how to spell this character's name. I only created this name 5 minutes ago. Ooh, this pillow's very comfy. I know I keep saying that, but dang. It was worth the extra expense. Sorry, I gotta sniffle here. Whoops. Occupational hazard or a specific perk of the job. I did read that before, didn't I? Right now, this lumbar pillow is doing top-notch job, I gotta say. Very comfortable. I am tempted, the next time I have a bad back day, I am tempted to take this lumbar pillow with me to the couch and see if it helps, because dang. So I think I'm done with this scene. I'm gonna give it another quick all once through. Got a stray slash in there. Alright. I'm happy with that scene. I need to go for a wee while. I'm not feeling great, but I may be back later. Peter, please take care of yourself. Get some rest. I hope you feel better. It's the most important thing. Finished my day with 1,067 words. Nice, Angel Faye, you're killing it. Tomorrow I'll move to my epilogue. Then I'll do some more editing and release it in January. Angel Faye, that's great. I'm glad to hear it's going so well. I don't know why I got so high-pitched there. Excitement. Excitement. All right, so we started with 1,342 words. We're finishing with 1,246 and no major additions. So it's going to be plus. Don't need that name anymore. And so we're gonna start. I'm just gonna move on to starting the next scene and then we'll talk about what my plans are when we get there. So we're starting with 1,517 words. 517. My new goal is 50K for this book, so I'm close. Nice! Angel Faye, that's amazing. Off to bed, have fun writing. See you next stream. Angel Faye, take care. Sleep well. Thank you so much for dropping by. Sorry, I've gone super hyper-focused here at the moment. I know I'm not saying much. I need a name. I like this one. Might change it slightly, but I do like this one. I'm gonna draw this. Ha ha ha. Unlurk Maskling, welcome back. How's it going? Feeling rough, but just got back from the bathroom. Bathroom often helps more than expected. That is true. As someone who has to spend an inordinate amount of time in the bathroom because her gut hates her, I feel that. Sometimes you just got to do what your body needs to do, and then hopefully you feel better after. I'm pleasantly surprised by how clean this scene is, actually. Ooh, we are done with the sprint. I actually think I can finish this in one more, which is kind of a relief because I was starting to worry that I was not going to get to the end of this. I do have to find a point where I can add some details. So in the first scene, now that the sprint is over, I'll talk a little bit more about what my plans are. So for the first scene, I didn't really change much. You may remember from, I don't know, months ago, you may not, that the book opens with Ciri, who is not the main character, but one of our main characters. Ciri is a watcher. She's part of a group of people who essentially watch over what happens on the world and try to influence the outcome to some great purpose. So it starts with her watching this woman painfully trying to walk down the street as her mentor explains that this woman is the daughter of everyone's mother, an ancient creator goddess who disappeared thousands of years ago, and that her quest may soon become relevant to or important to Ciri. And then we switch perspectives to Alethea, and we sort of learn that she is currently under attack by a group of distant mages who are trying to stop her from progressing along this journey that she's taken. So the first scene didn't really need much. I was really happy with the opening imagery and sort of the introduction to the setting. And getting that hook in there right away of like, this is some ancient prophecy quest related thing that's happening. Now for this next scene, I have a few more notes. So the first thing that I wanted to do, which I've already kind of done, is I wanted to give some context to where this scene is taking place. We know that it's a village. We know that it's sort of on the border of a desert because it sort of has this flat, open, dry feeling to it. But I really wanted to add some context of the greater world. So I've sort of made mention of places that we see later in the book. Now that I've written the rest of the book, I can sort of pull some of those details back. And I've given the kingdom that she's in a name because Alethea knows where she is. I don't know where she is. I certainly didn't know where she was when I wrote this scene, but now we have this sense of a larger world, this sense that she is traveling through places, I really want to name drop in there, even if it's not going to mean much now, because one, hopefully there's going to be a map when this book comes out, so the reader could flip to the map page and be like, ah, yes, that's where this is taking place. Also, I want to have that name drop in there so that later on, when she starts moving around, it will put into context how far she was on the journey, and how far she has to go when we have more of those details filled in. So it's really important to do stuff like that because it starts to give an idea of the larger world and sort of the fact that there are things going on outside of just what we're initially seeing. And I want to start that happening as quickly as possible because that's what's going to make the world feel big and epic and grand. I try not to drop too many unexplained, out of context names or concepts in the opening chapters of my fantasy novels because you want to introduce things to the reader slowly. When you're working in a secondary world and pretty much everything is new and different and you need to explain the entire context to the reader, it's a good idea to drip feed those details. Otherwise, if you introduce too many, and this is a really common complaint that I hear from people who are trying to get into fantasy novels and find them to be inaccessible. If you throw too much information at a reader all at once, if you're trying to completely explain the world in your opening pages, that can be very daunting and people can actually get very frustrated and confused and sort of walk away. It's good to have an immersive world. It's good for things to be new and different and exciting. But you kind of have to drip feed the details to people so that they can keep up with the new concepts in order to not get horribly confused and be like, I just read a sentence where none of these words made sense. I'm not going to read this anymore. So that's what I'm trying to do, is essentially create that slow drip of, here is a place that's different from what you know. Here is how that place works. And now you can start to get your feet beneath you. So to that end, I wanted to add context, which I think I've done. And then the other thing that I want to do is I want to start describing how magic works in this setting. Because I've gone out of my way to make magic a little bit different in this world, and I don't think I really utilized that during my first draft. I didn't really show how magic is different in this world versus how I write it in my other worlds. And I've written it's very daunting to introduce a whole new world to someone who doesn't know anything about it. And I think it's one of the hardest things about being a fantasy or a sci-fi writer is, how do I take this brand new place that works completely differently than how we think of as our world and make it seem accessible, make it seem interesting without being horribly daunting to a new reader. And I think this is an area in which visual sci-fi and fantasy movies and TV get an advantage because they can use imagery to show some of this information, right? I think I mentioned this, and I didn't mention this on stream, it was during my D&D. If you watch the Orville, there's a race in the Orville who their planet is shrouded in night. The sun never rises. And so they live in beneath darkness, and the light that they use is all soft generated light. And so at one point they go to this planet and you see this massive city, and how that city is constructed and how it is lit up and how it is designed for a species that lives in night, right? That has no daytime. And so they can take some of those shortcuts by showing you this is what this looks like, right? But in a book, you have to build it all with words. And so hence the drip feed. So I need to I haven't entirely decided where I'm doing it yet. And I might run into a situation where I go too far and have to back up a little to add it in. But I want to show Elaith drawing from her sources in order to basically cast a shield spell that is protecting her from this force that's trying to draw her away. And I want to show the moment where her sources are depleted, at which point she's unable to keep casting and is sort of subject to this to stronger magic, because the people on the other end have more access to sources and source magic, and so they are ultimately able to overcome her. I don't feel like it's clear. I think I made it clear in the first draft that magic is happening, but I didn't really go into the forces and the counter forces and the description of what Alethea is doing. And because she's a caster, because she is actively resisting, I feel like this is a good opportunity to give a little bit of an insight into this magic system. I don't want to write pages and pages about it because that's going to be a massive turnoff to the reader. Hey, Tal, how's it going? I don't want to sit here and add like a whole page of here's how the function of magic works. But I do want to sprinkle a couple of sentences, a couple of paragraphs here and there, explaining her connecting to her sources, explaining what it feels like when a source runs dry and a spell falters because there's nothing left to power it. Just setting up for the day. Nice. How's it going? Did I say that already? I'm sorry if I'm in repeat mode today. It's been a week and it's only Tuesday. So that's what this whole Sea of Red is a note to myself to say, put this information into the book. So I'm hopefully only going to do one more sprint because I do have to eat lunch at some point, but hopefully in this next 30 minutes, that's what I'm going to do, is sort of find, find little crevices to put that information in. And the key, of course, is going to be to do this without doing a massive info dump, right? I want to sprinkle those breadcrumbs throughout what's already there so that it feels like a natural explanation. I do the same thing. I know whenever when I'm tired or I have a lot on my mind, which is I'm both of those things right now, I get stuck in loops where I'll repeat the same behavior. Like I'll check at night before I go to bed. I check that the doors are locked like 3 times. And then I kind of realize you already did that. It's like I go on autopilot and I get stuck on autopilot. I'm like, I have to check the door. And I just walk back and forth between the front door and the back door. And sometimes I do that like 3 times and I'm like, you already checked. You definitely already checked. You don't need to do this again. And I do it without realizing it. So I've had to kind of tell my husband, because he's like, sometimes you ask me to do the same thing like 3 times. And I'm like, the reason I do that is because I forget that I asked you the first time and the second time and the third time. So something that I'm kind of caught up to is that I get stuck in loops. So if you ever hear me say the same like 2 things on stream over and over, it's because I forgot the instant the words came out of my mouth that I said it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing, or at least what I'm gonna be doing with this last sprint. I'm pleasantly surprised because I feel like the foundation of this scene is really clean. Like I said, that when I do my opening, like you guys have seen me write on stream often enough to know that most of the time I just word vomit. But when I write my opening scenes, I tend to be a bit more careful because I know they're going to be really important. And I do remember when I wrote this on stream that it was really slow, and I was really worried that this book was going to be impossible to write because everything was taking so long. So it's paying off now because the edits are not taking as long or needing to be as in depth because the prose is a little bit cleaner than I typically write. I just have to make sure I know where I want to put these little breadcrumbs. So I might just peek at what the scene looks like here before I start the timer. So I'm thinking here would be a good place to add some details. Details here. Here. Okay, there. So I have little notes to myself of where I think the breadcrumbs will fit. Of course, I don't necessarily have to follow that. I can do whatever feels right at the time. But at least I won't get to the end of the scene and be like, oh yeah, I forgot to add all those details in. I'm just gonna pop off camera for 2 seconds and grab my blanket again, because I am cold. And then we're gonna do final spront. I really like this new lumbar pillow, I gotta say. I am enjoying it. Run some Plobs on Tell and Tickle Attack Extreme. Man, I was just telling my husband yesterday that there seems to have been like something in the air, because things have just been like, I feel like our lives went off the rails like at the end of August, and we've just been holding on for dear life. It's been so busy. Maybe for me it's also because I've had so much health stuff to deal with in that time. But it just feels like everyone's been crazy busy and everything's been like popping up all over the place for the last few months. So for all of you who have been like ultra busy, I hope that things are settling down, because dang, we've had a ride. I need to put 30 minutes on the clock. Maybe there it goes. I've been in the process of promotion at work and I finally got it. Nice! Realm of Music, that's awesome. Congrats. Now I'm in the running for another promotion to assistant. So I've been playing the part and putting in 50 hours of work. Ah, I see, I see. Well, I hope that you get the promotion. I hope that all of that pays off. It sounds like you're quite dedicated to your work, so hopefully they see that. Time to do some housework. If I miss the end, have a good afternoon and catch you on Discord. Exiled Faye, thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I'll be around for probably about the next 25 minutes, and then I have to do my diligence, as the self-care mafia would say, and take care of myself and eat some food. I know that Game of Tomes is over, but I think the mafia will still come for me if I don't take care of myself. Hey, Diz is living. What is up? Also, that's such an adorable emote. What? Look at the kitty. So this is the face behind the profile picture. It's good to get to a stream. Hey, Uncle Tobin, how's it going? I've seen you hanging out, but haven't gotten to chat with you on stream before. Just got off work now, so I'm winding down and eating tamales. That sounds amazing. I hope you had a good day, Dis is living. It's going well. I don't usually get to lurk in streams at this hour. Well, I'm glad to be around. I usually stream either in the morning or the afternoon Pacific time. This will be probably my last sprint, so probably only be around for the next 20 minutes or so, but I'm glad to see you. Glad to hang out. Just made shift manager. We have room for another assistant, and I have the blessing of my store manager and our district manager. Nice! Good luck! Assistant manager would be a big one for sure. I'm just keeping track of how many words I add in here. I actually just ran in there about 30 minutes ago to fix the drive-thru headset, so that was nice of you. Tech issues are probably... There's probably only a few people who know how to do that stuff. Tomorrow's going to be a high of 4/39. Should I brave getting my hawk tidied up? Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit? I'm confused. I mean, I would say yes, but I'm not sure what temperature that is. I want to say yes, but I don't want to lead you astray because I don't understand the temperature. 4 is Celsius. Oh, I see. You did the conversion for me. That's so awesome. Yeah, my brain looked at that and tried to see a date, not gonna lie. And I was like, 4/39 isn't a calendar date. Just so you know where my brain is. Yeah, I would say go for it. It's gonna be above freezing. My son Santos is getting his Grandmaster World Anvil membership today. That's so awesome! What? I know so little about World Anvil. But I have seen people do amazing things on there, for sure. have to take a hat and some wet wipes because the shaved hair will make my head itch. Oh, that makes sense. He's only in 8th grade, but he will learn fast and do great. That's so awesome that you guys encourage him to be creative. And I remember when I was in 8th grade and I started to get really creative with storytelling and all that sort of thing. And my family was not always supportive of that sort of thing. So it's really awesome that you encourage that. Lurk to get forgelings from school. Hello to the Forgelings. I hope they had a great day. And thank you for hanging out, Realm of Music. Good luck with your job stuff. Got a mohawk that I've been growing out almost 2 years now. You should take pictures, Maskling. I want to see. It's not long enough that I can use, it's now long enough that I can use 3 hair ties to put it up into a very messy ponytail instead of just using 2. Oh yeah, you were talking about that earlier, I think. Instead of having 2 separate ponytails. I would love, if you're okay with sharing pictures, I would love to see pictures. No pressure. Yeah, for sure. Would love to see. I used parchment there, but I used paper up here, so I should change that. Little details. I mean, they could have both paper and parchment, but, you know. We got a posture check from Maskling. Thank you, Maskling. We got a stretch. Oh, yeah, we need that stretch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Back needs that stretch. And we got hydrate. Cheers. They could have both paper and parchment, but I'm going to keep it consistent through the scene. Keep the thoughts consistent. I was thinking that maybe they should have parchment instead of paper anyway, so, you know. I'm not sure what level of technology they are with that stuff in this world, even though I've written a whole book in it. All right. And that's the end of that scene. So I added just little bits and pieces here and there, but I think it works much better. We're starting to hint at how spellcasting works, at why Aleath is tired. We sort of have a little bit more insight into the struggle. You're back, Realm of Music. You said something earlier about Self-Care Mafia. I got the Oyo bun in my house now. How do you think I feel? Uh-oh. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that the leader of the Self-Care Mafia knows that I am about to eat lunch. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna take care of myself. I have put myself on notice this week that if I start to feel really crappy, I have to nap. That's that's my promise to myself. But for now, we finished the scene. I haven't yet added up exactly how much I added, so this will be a bit off because I subtracted some along the way too. But we started at 1,517 words and we finished at 1,681, and that's after probably taking out 100 or so words along the way. So I'm really happy with that. It was just a few little additions, but I think this works much, much better as set up for sort of getting into some of the actual magical mechanics of this world. I still haven't decided if I'm going to name the chapters in this book. I'm kind of leaning towards not, because I don't necessarily always want to name the chapters in all my series, and I feel like this series might work better without the chapter names. But I might wait until I've edited a few more chapters, see if any chapter names pop up into my mind. If they start coming at me, then I might just accept them. But that was about 5 pages total worth of editing, which doesn't seem like a ton, but it was the opening sequence for the book. I'm really happy with getting that together. It's making me feel much better about this than I felt when I was writing it. I hate to run, but it is 1:30 here. It is lunchtime. I do need to eat. I need to do that self-care because the body needs fuel in order to keep working. So let me switch my headphones back to the computer, and we're gonna do a raid. We will see who is around on Twitch. Another PS tier, yes. Yes. I am Pacific Coast. So I tend to stream during the day's Pacific time as well, since that's my work time, but every now and then I do an evening stream with other friends. Let's see who is around that we haven't raided recently. Maybe we'll head over to Estantia, someone who I have not gotten to raid before, I think. Working on writing at the moment. I was sticking to mostly Game of Thrones streamers during November, so I want to spread some love to some places that I haven't been in a while. Otherwise, we would probably drop in on Sable, but I have been reading Sable a lot lately. Check her out. She's amazing. She and her husband Aaron are usually streaming at this time. But we're going to drop in over somewhere else. I know we have known of each other, but finally got a chance to hang out for a few with you and get to know you a little. You have a good taste in the office chairs, and I love coffee, so you're good in my book. Well, thank you, Realm of Music. I'm really glad we got to hang out, too. It's super nice to actually, like, formally say, hey, how are you? I hope there was a nice chill vibe. That's basically what I try to do is have a nice chill vibe, have good energy, encourage people to be creative, and if people want to hang out and get some work done, that's the most important thing. We're gonna head over to Estantia. A writer, I think someone that I followed probably through another raid and just haven't really gotten to hang out with very often. Did you see the part that I have the same keyboard that Coffee has? That's amazing. What type of keyboard is it, if you don't mind me asking? Very cool though that you ended up with the same. I like the sound of Coffee's keyboard when I'm hanging out in Coffee stream. I like the clicky clackies. I'm gonna get the raid started. Don't feel rushed to finish conversation, but I do need to get moving. So let's start a raid. Zoyo Lang brand. Oh, interesting. I'll have to look into that. We do have some raid calls, but please feel free to use any emotes that make you happy. The main point is spreading the love, saying hey to another writer who's hanging out. Thank you to everyone who came and hung out with me today. It's been this week did not get off to a good start for me, I won't lie. But hanging out with everybody here, getting to say hey to some people that I've only really gotten to say hey to in passing before, having such good energy, having such good vibes has really helped me get the week into a much better position than it was on Monday. So I appreciate that. Exiled Faye, I appreciate that I was able to pass some of that on to you as well. You're all amazing. It's always great to hang out with you. I really, every time I hesitate to turn on the camera and stream, I have a stream like this and I'm reminded why I do this and why it's so worthwhile. So thank you to all of you. I don't know when I'll be back because, as I said, I'm dealing with a lot this week. So keep an eye on the Discord, keep an eye on my Twitter. I will let you know when I go live again. I'm hoping to stream at least one more time this week. Take care, you guys. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again soon.
Real Salties, how are you?